Yeah, I mean, I know if you're on your bicycle, glass isn't necessarily the best way to
No.
go. In that case, I'd recommend steel. The last thing you want to do is take a polycarbonate bottle onto your bike, expose it to the sunlight, let it heat up. You're picking up the BPA and the other chemicals in that plastic very quickly.
Yeah.
So if you can't use glass, steel's the next choice. But steel's not perfect either.
No.
I mean, it's going to add some tin. It's going to add a little bit of chromium to the water. It kind of adds a little bit of iron, and it'll give the water a little bit of a penny taste. But those are things that we've dealt with for thousands and thousands of years of evolution. It's not like these plastic compounds that are brand new to us.
Yeah, it's, you know, the danger with these compounds is because for the most part they're odorless and tasteless.
Correct.
And we can't sense them, but that doesn't mean they're not dangerous.
No, and they're damaging in the levels as low as parts per trillion.
Yeah, they're very serious problems, and they're relatively recently introduced into the human environment and consumption. So we've got to be careful. Intellectually, academically, we know these are dangerous chemicals. These are something you want to avoid. Normally, the wise strategy is to limit your exposure to plastics as much as possible. As much as possible. If you are going to have it exposed, you know, the typical strategies are to keep it as cool as possible, and the higher the temperature, the worse it's going to be. But really limiting your exposure, and I think it's hard to make any type of successful argument to have a municipal water or a home water delivery system in plastic bottles. Now there are some people. I think Mountain Valley is one of the companies that deliver in glass, and they have like 5-gallon glass jars. And those are, even though that's much safer from a leaching perspective, there's some dangers there too. It's like death, because you know these bottles weigh upwards of close to 50 pounds.
Right.
And, you know, some people aren't strong enough to lift those, or they slip or something, and you break one of those 5-gallon glass containers, and you can create an instrument that can kill you pretty quickly.
Absolutely. If you,
And there people have
particularly if
died
you slip
from
and fall on it.
Yeah, you're dead. So you know you have to balance those risks, even though glass might be better. But I think the best take-home message is that to not have your water delivered at home.
Bottle your own. I mean,
Yeah.
even though
Because you can do it more cost-effectively and better than almost all the bottled waters out there.
right, and even the bottle that gets delivered in glass. Did you change the filter at the water plant? How do you know the quality of that
Well,
water?
most of them are from springs, but
Okay.
then there's still this question of, you know, what's the quality of the spring, and where are they drawing the spring water from? Because there's still a lot of room for manipulation, fraud, and deception within the overly broad and not carefully and heavily regulated bottled water industry. So they could be legally claiming something that may be absolutely different from what you think you're getting. Is the
right.
bottom line.
That's right. Bottle your own.
Okay, great.